First they said, keep your distance and do not approach anyone, anywhere, for any reason, closer than 6 feet, or you might murder them, or they you. And I didn't speak up, because I thought this made perfect sense. Then they said, don't wear a mask, because you will make yourself sick. And I didn't speak up, because who wants to catch COVID from themselves? Then they said, if you get sick, stay home and go to the hospital, where you will be put on a ventilator. And I didn't ask why COVID patients with low hemoglobin die on a ventilator, because doctors know best. Then they said, lock yourself inside and don't go out for 3 months while we install 5G everywhere. And I didn't speak up, because continuous smartphone surveillance, domestic violence, suicide, and despair are preferable to catching a disease most people will never know they had. Then they said, you can go out if you wear a mask, and I didn't ask why this is okay now when it wasn't before, because I was so happy to leave my room without being arrested. Then they said, you will be fined if you attempt to walk through an empty park or along a deserted beach, and I didn't speak up, because fresh air and sunshine kill coronaviruses, and that's murder. Then they said, don't let your kids go to school or play outside because little Betsy might carry germs that kill Grandma. And I didn't speak up, because traumatizing my daughter made more sense than keeping her away from Grandma. Then they said, seniors who are sick must stay in crowded rest homes with elders who are not sick. And I didn't speak up, because everyone knows that's where old people belong. Then they said, go back inside until we have a vaccine. And I didn't say, it's impossible to vaccinate against 15 strains of a mutating retrovirus, because injecting the virus into my own bloodstream will soon be mandatory. Then they said, it's okay to protest in crowds of thousands, because to not do this is worse than catching COVID. And I didn't ask if this was a contradiction, because I didn't want to be called a COVID-phobe and a racist. Then they said, kneel before the oppressed and apologize for the sins of your forebears, but only if you're a white male. And I didn't ask if all lives matter, because I didn't want to be lynched. And then they came for me, and by that time it was too late for everyone.
People should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.